Cyberpunk Edgerunners Season 2, is there any announcement regarding its release? Cyberpunk Edgerunners just came out on Netflix on September 13th, and it's already being called one of the company's best original anime shows. The futuristic show takes place in the same world as the popular RPG Cyberpunk 2077 by CD Projekt Red. It was made by Japan's Studio Trigger, which is known for shows like Kill La Kill, Inferno Cop, Little Witch Academia, and more. In an interview with Famitsu, which was translated by Games Chronicle, CD Projekt Red community manager Satoru Honma said there were no plans to pick up the story of Edgerunners with a second season. I personally would like to continue to work with Japanese studios to produce more anime in the future, partly because we have received very good feedback, Honma told Famitsu. However, just to be clear, Cyberpunk Edgerunners was planned as a standalone work, so there's no such thing as we are actually working on Season 2 in the background. If there were to be a continuation of the anime at some point in the future, Honma said it wouldn't be something like a Season 2 for Edgerunners, but something completely different. This revelation should come as no surprise to viewers who finished the anime and now burst into tears whenever the Rosa Walton and Hallie Coggins song I Really Want to Stay at Your House plays. Despite the no-sequel anime news, Edgerunners' critical reception has spilled over into 2077, giving the long-troubled game a second life with a humongous boost in concurrent players on Steam. If you're wondering what Edgerunners is about, it's about David, a street kid trying to make it in Night City, a city of the future that is obsessed with technology and body modifications. After meeting a mysterious hacker named Lucy, he decides the only way to stay alive is to become an Edgerunner, a mercenary outlaw also called a cyberpunk. In his quest to become a so-called legend, he will fight Night City's most dangerous criminals and cyber psychos. Overseas people say that the anime has given CDPR a second chance. We are grateful to Studio Trigger for giving us the chance to enjoy the story of V and Johnny Silverhand after watching the anime, Satoru said. With the exception of sci-fi mecha anime SSSS Dynazenon, Trigger rarely makes follow-up seasons for its anime regardless of how immensely popular they are. Though there are no plans for a second season of Edgerunners, Honma said he'd personally like to continue producing anime in the future with Japanese studios because of the positive feedback Edgerunners received. Personally, I'd vouch for a Witcher anime by animation studio MAPPA given its work on epics with Attack on Titan's final season and the second season of Vinland Saga. That said, MAPPA seems fully occupied at the moment, so, no rush. Cyberpunk Edgerunners Season 1 now has all 10 episodes available to stream on Netflix. Will Netflix add another season in the future? Read on to find out what's going on now. Has Netflix renewed Cyberpunk Edgerunners for Season 2? CD Projekt Red has said that the worlds of Cyberpunk 2077 and The Witcher will grow beyond the video games, but there are no plans for Cyberpunk Edgerunners Season 2 at this time. Netflix, Studio Trigger, and CD Projekt Red haven't said anything about making more episodes of this anime series, so it's likely that Edgerunners will only have one season. Sci-fi anime has always been marketed as a standalone story, and Studio Trigger is known for making anime shows that only last for one season. But because Cyberpunk 2077 is so popular and Edgerunners has been praised by critics, it has a 100% score on Rotten Tomatoes, it's likely that people will want more episodes. If the anime does well on Netflix, it's likely that they'll think about giving it a second season. Cyberpunk Edgerunners didn't make Netflix's global top 10 list for TV shows on September 16th, but it did make the list in several countries. At the time of this writing, it's not clear if Netflix thinks the anime is doing well enough to be renewed. Is Cyberpunk Edgerunners getting a new season? Early in October 2022, Project Orion, the code name for the sequel to Cyberpunk 2077, was officially announced by CD Projekt Red. The developer said this about the sequel: Orion is a codename for our next Cyberpunk game, which will expand the Cyberpunk series and continue to use this dark future universe to its fullest potential. Now, fans of Cyberpunk Edgerunners are wondering if CD Projekt Red and Studio Trigger will work together again to make a new season of Cyberpunk Edgerunners or a different anime set in Night City and the rest of the Cyberpunk 2077 universe. Even though CDPR hasn't said anything about a future Cyberpunk anime, the fact that Cyberpunk 2077 is getting a sequel definitely makes it more likely that the popular franchise will get another anime series in the future. Also, read about Black Mirror Season 6. But since the next video game isn't expected to come out until 2025 or later, there won't be a new season of Cyberpunk Edgerunners anytime soon.